Hello, welcome to today's 15-minute express class. So, got something new today, a football if you have it. So, if you have a football, it would be great. If you have a home roller, it would be very good. If you don't, that doesn't matter. We can still work with things, but these are going to make it a little bit harder and a little bit harder again on top of that. So, what we want to do is challenge your glutes a little bit more, work on a little bit more stability, and we're going to do that today. So, we're going to come onto the hands and knees. What I'm going to get you to do, we're going to do a few knee hovers, loosen up the glutes, but just a little bit of stability into it, even for the upper body. I'm going to try and get you to use either one of these today. So we'll work on loosening up the glutes first. Pick the left foot up, twist the left foot out as wide as you can to the left. Remember, you don't have to look around the arm. What we're working on today is the internal rotation. So bring that foot out as wide as you can, don't turn the head, and try and see the toes in your peripheral vision. Don't kind of look underneath your arm to do this, but look straight down and see if you can get those toes out wider than the arm so you can just about see the heels or the toes. Perfect. So we're looking to get the knee in as much as we can, pointing across the other side of the mat. And one last one. Perfect. Next we're going to loosen up the glutes. So we're going to bring that right knee down onto the mat, bring the right foot up as high as you can, and just rest the body down on top of that leg. The closer you can get to the mat, the better. And make sure that heel doesn't slip down. Give it a helping hand to keep up nice and high. I'm going to work on that piriformis, loosening up a little bit more. Good. Hold that stretch for a few more seconds. Perfect. And then left leg underneath the body. Bring that heel up nice and high with your right hand, and then rest down onto the mat. Don't put it up too high because you still have to get the body down. Good. So rest the body down. If it slips down, a little bit of a helping hand. So we're looking this time, trying to twist the thigh out as far to the opposite side as we can. Perfect. Bring the left leg back. Now, if you have a roller, I want you to bring it down in front of you like this. We're going to put the hands on top of the roller. If you don't have a roller, you're going to have your hands on the mat. And if you want to make it even harder, hands on the ball. So we're going to do a few knee hovers. Hands on the ball like that, creating a little bit of balance. Or hands on the roller like this. So bring a bit of awareness to the shoulders, whichever one you want. Lift and lower the knees. Pinch the shoulders back, elbows pointing to the toes. Lift and lower, two more. Lift and lower, one last one. Lift and hold. Lift one foot up and down. Lift the other foot up and down. Now it becomes a lot harder. Good. Lift and lower, one last one each side. Perfect. And rest the knees down. Brought the ball in for the glutes. We're getting a full workout with it. So turn over onto your back now. That doesn't sound very good, so I'm just struggling to lie down. So 2 feet on top of the ball. Hands by the side. Move the rollers or anything else that's in your way out of your way. Rest the hands down. 2 feet on the ball. Imprint the spine. Lift the hips up and lower down. If you don't have a ball, use the roller. If you don't have a roller, don't worry about it. 2 feet on the mat. Good. Imprint, roll the hips back, lift, and nice and smooth back down. Perfect. So these are our warm-up ones. We're focusing on keeping the rib cage down, lifting the pelvis nice and high, getting the glutes working. Now, as we come up, you're going to feel the hamstrings work. They're helping lift the pelvis up nice and high, and they're also stopping that ball from shooting across to the other side of the room. Roll the hips back, lift the hips up, lower down. One last one. Imprint, roll the pelvis, hips nice and high, arms by the side for balance, and roll back down. Good. We're going to make it harder now. So if you're on the roller on the ball, hands on the ribs. Now when the elbows are on the mat to stabilize you, imprint the spine, breathing out, pulling the ribs down, roll the pelvis, lift the hips up, and back down. Make sure you don't stick the tongue up into the air. Keep it as flat as possible. Lift and lower. Good. Bring that ball in nice and close to the hips. Lift and lower. Good. If you're on the ball, keep going, lifting and lower. If you're on the ball and you feel the hamstrings are about to cramp, you can stop and switch to a roller, or you can bring yourself back down onto the mat. Lift and lower. One last one. Imprint. Lift the hips up nice and high, and then lower back down and rest. Good. Take the feet off the ball for a second. Give you a little bit of a break. Next one, hands across the chest. So we're taking away all the balance from the upper body. What you want to do is pull the shoulder blades back into the mat. That'll give you some balance. You use the shoulder blades to correct yourself. So hands across the chest, pinch the shoulder blades back, imprint, lift the hips and lower down. Good, imprint, lift. And remember, each vertebrae comes in one after the other, starting at the neck and then one after the other coming all the way down to the pelvis. So you want the back to roll back down. You shouldn't feel an arch as you bring your back down onto the mat. Imprint and lift and lower. One last one, ball in nice and close. Imprint the spine, lift the hips up, shoulders away from the ears, and then lower back down and rest. Perfect. Feet down onto the mat. If you have the roller, we're going to keep that there. If you have the ball, we're going to keep that there. And if you don't have either, it doesn't matter. We're coming onto one foot, all of us together. Right foot onto the ball, roller or mat. Hands by the side. Don't have them out too wide. Have them in on the edge of the mat or just slightly off it. Pinch the shoulder blades back. Pull the rib cage down. Left knee to the chest. Lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Halfway there. Keep the rib cage down. 6. Nice and smooth back down. 7. Back down. 8. Last 2. 9. Back down. One last one. Lift and lower down. Perfect. Whoops. Don't kick the ball away. We're going to bring it onto the left foot. So again, left foot on the ball. Right knee in nice and close to the chest. Hands by the side. Lift and lower. 1, 2. Keep that knee in an arc as it comes up overhead. 3. Use your hands for balance. 4, 5, 6, 7. Get nice and tight. 8, 9. One last one. Hips up. 10. And back down. Good. Have a little rest there for a second. We're going to do one last set with the ball. We're going to turn to our sides and work the lateral glutes then after that. So for this one, right foot on the ball. We're going to bring the left, keep the left hand on the mat. The right hand is going to come across the chest. So we're using our opposite limbs to stabilize the body. We've got something shaky underneath that right knee. Left leg comes into the chest. Lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you find this easy, you want to make it harder. Left hand onto the ribs. 5, 6. If you want to make it harder again, 2 hands across the chest. 7, 8. Remember this left knee comes in an arc. 9. Whoops. Shaky. One last one. 10. And back down. You want it to be challenging. Left foot onto the ball. Left hand across the chest. Right hand by the side. Bring the ball in nice and close to the hips. Right knee into the chest. Lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, hands on ribs. You want to make it a little bit harder. I can feel the difference between my left and right side. I'm a little shakier on the left. Last string. I'm going to try 2 hands. 8. 2 more. 9. One last one. Try moving a straight line up to the ceiling. And then back down. Perfect. We can get rid of the ball now. We're finished with that. So you can throw that away. Forget about it. Next one, we're going to turn on to our side. So, turn to your right, your left side, whichever one you want to first. We're going to rest the head down. Head on top of the hand. Back line up in the back of the mat. Feet sweeping forward as always. We're going to work the inner range and then we're going to come up into our side planks. So toes pointing forward, lift the leg up as high as you can. Make sure the left pelvis is directly on top of the right. You're not twisting the pelvis back. So push that top part of the pelvis forward. Stretch the heel to the end of the room and 10 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest the leg back down. As you do these circles, the next ones, you don't want the hips coming back and forward and you don't want the pelvis coming up and down. So rest the head down again, hand onto the top of the hip Foot up to the ceiling, toes pointing forward, 10 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice small circles, toes pointing forward. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Push the heel away. 4. Keep the heel up nice and high. 3, 2, 1. And bring the leg down. We're going to flip over onto the opposite side. So lie back down. We're going to work the inner range of the lateral muscles again. So rest the head down onto the hand. Back line up to the back of the mat. Hips sweeping forward again. Push that top heel away. Leg up nice and high. Little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now remember, when you look down towards your foot, you want it staying above the windowsill, the design on the wallpaper, above the door handle, and keep it there for every pulse. Make sure bit by bit it isn't sinking down towards the mat. You want to keep the leg up nice and high. Consistent movements every time. Next one, circles. So again, we're going to draw those circles around whatever is there. Design on the wallpaper, a mark on the wall, the windowsill, the door handle, anything. We want to keep it nice and consistent in height. So, hand onto the top hip, push that heel down towards the bottom of the mat, lift the hips up, toes pointing forward, and circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change directions. 10, 9. Keep the heel up. 8, 7, 6. Nice round circles. 5. Relax the top shoulder. 4, 3. Push the heel away. 2, 1. And rest the leg down. Perfect. Next one. We're going to come up onto the side. We're going to go for some side planks. So we're going to lift and lower the pelvis 10 times. 10-second hold. And we're going to do one more set after that. So pinch the shoulder blade back. Straight line down the body. Top hand onto the top hip. Lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoulder blades back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One last one. 10 and hold. 8. Keep the hips nice and high. Chest pointing forward. Hips pointing forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest back down. Good. Next one, we're going to lift and lower the top leg for 10. And then we're finished on this side anyway. Chest forward, pinch the shoulder blades, top hand onto the pelvis, lift the hips nice and high. 10 lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Keep the hips up. 8, 9, 10. Rest the legs, rest the hips, and turn over onto the opposite side. We're nearly there. I'm going to get my headlock out of the way. So again, nice straight line down the body. Elbow below the shoulder, but slightly towards the hip. You can see the body is curled to start. We're going to lift the ribs up nice and high. Hand onto the top hip. Lift and lower. 1, 2, 3. Chest forward, shoulders back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10 and hold. 8, 7, 6. Hips nice and high, chest forward. 2, 1, and rest down. Perfect. Nearly there. One last set. Hips up nice and high into that side plank, and 10 lifts with the top leg. So get yourself set. Pinch the shoulders back. Chest is forward. Lift the ribs so the torso is straight. Perfect. Lift the hips, and 10 lifts. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Rest the legs, rest the hips, and rest down. We're finished with that for today. That's our express class. We flew through that. A lot of hard work, a lot of work on the hamstrings, a lot of work on the glutes, stabilising them, but a nice good workout. We'll build on that again next week. More work with the ball, so if you don't have them, try and find them. See you next week. Bye bye.